Hey guys, welcome back to Taste of Victory. I'm TasteRC, and today we got some Booster Set 5 gameplay for you guys. We're going to be playing Green OTK, which I previously did a deck profile before, so go ahead and click that video in the top right corner if you want to see the profile and all the cards I'm running. So we're going to start off by going first, because I won the dice roll. We're hatching Bloodmon, which gives plus 100 to Digiburst. We have Terriermon here, who is good in certain matchups because it blocks people from being able to gain memory, except with their Tamers. Unfortunately though, that is our only rookie, so we're going to go ahead and go with Digivolve into it. You have to be able to make off that trade-off to recognize when it's okay to lose an effect or not, because right now it's not currently doing anything, and it won't be too big early in the game, so you have to realize it's okay to Digivolve over it if you could choke your opponent at one like this with Digimon. Digimon is a fantastic champion to run because he does have that only one cost to Digivolve into. He is also 6k and then is able to dodge stuff like Nidhogg resting us in the mirror matchup. He's able to dodge stuff like all the removal and Booster Set 5 when we get that later. But yeah, there's a lot of 5k DP specific hate. We do see like an amazing lineup right here. We have the full like path of Digivolution. We can see we have Cherrymon into Grankuwagamon. Unfortunately, we don't have Jamming Palmon underneath it for max benefit, but we do have it there. We see him bottom deck is Kakaida's Breath, which is one of the only things I fear in security against blue, so that's really good to see. He had Upamon and he went into Vmon, so it looks like he's playing some kind of Rookie Rush or Imperialmon build. Looking at his top decks though, I have a suspicion that it's Rookie Rush. I'll draw. He does have Davis out, so no matter what we do, he is going to 3 memory next turn. I'm debating if I'm going to move out here, but I think I'm going to stay in because I can't go into Grankuwagamon without passing turn. So I think the right play is to Digivolve here in security for 2, go to 1, draw, and then we're able to choke him for 1 memory. So if we're able to like download or something, oh, he still goes to 3. I completely forgot. Oh, I always forget. I always forget. Here I am thinking I'm going to choke him at 3. It happens. That's why you gotta be aware of your board constantly, entirely. And at least this way, if he doesn't have an XVmon to restand, we just swing over it with Argomon. And this kind of gives us more benefit, because now we can give jamming, or rather security attack +1 to it if we had the Palmon underneath it. That'd be a really funny combo. But unfortunately, I realize we don't have the Palmon. He has a blocker now, so now that really puts us behind, because now I can't even do my OTK strats. But we do have Chaosmon here, so even if we do get blocked, it's not the end of the world. So let's go ahead and move out now, but he put us at 1, so it doesn't even matter. If he has Kakaitis in hand, it's going to choke us, so this is 2k, so I'm going to go ahead and swing over this, just to make sure he doesn't get any more free swings with that Vmon, because that Vmon is so powerful having jamming. Gonna attack here. Alright, so my opponent is thinking if he is going to block that or not, because I do just lose it here, but then it doesn't really make too much of a loss for him here. Okay, so he's going to go ahead and do that. It's blocked, leaving that Argomon to die. I honestly really did not think he would bother blocking that. That surprises me. So I'm just going to go ahead and go into Grankuwagamon now and start putting on pressure, since he's only at a champion level. He does not have enough memory, as far as I'm aware, to be able to go into an ultimate and a mega without passing turn. But with blue, they may have Hammer Spark in hand as it's Digivolving over my Terrier. I don't have a way to stop that now, to stop the Hammer Sparks. But again, I'm not too worried about that, because at the beginning of the game, it's not much I can do, and as long as I'm getting that stack going, it's nice. I do have these here Chaosmon in hand, so as long as I get Digiburst and get something off next turn, I'll be able to carry, because the Digiburst effect here grants it to a Digimon, so it carries over into that Digimon stack. So even if I Digivolve into Chaosmon, I still get the plus security attacks from this Digibursting effect. So if he blocks it, that's fine. I'll just go at it. It dies, and I'll just attack this unsuspended Vmon. Oh, he decides to swing first, so that's okay. He reveals Goblimon, doesn't matter since it has jamming anyways. And as long as we blow out everything on the field, he won't have much to come back from. So we see here we got Tentomon as our rookie, which is unfortunate because I don't like Digivolving into Tentomon, since its on-play effect lets you reveal a green card, and if it's a Digimon added to your green Digimon added to your hand. So we could Digivolve into Goblimon and then hold the Tentomon, but the thing is, it's 3 cost to play versus 2 cost, and there it is. Yep, he pot on deck the Kakaitis, and he seriously, I just want to scoop and go to game 2. I don't even care. Are you kidding me? He bottom decked 1. I thought it'd be a lot safer than that, but it happens. We don't have an ultimate here, so I do absolutely want to hold on to the Tentomon. And well, what do you know? There it is. There's the ultimate, so I don't even mind it. So we draw off of that, go down to 1. Lilamon's pretty cool, so now we could Digiburst and not worry as badly about the blocker out. But then we still would have sources. Just gonna go ahead and play this. This is gonna go to 3 anyway. Start drawing. He has 3 checks on boards, and that's great. We get to add Nidhogg, so potential board clear if we go into that instead of Grankuwagamon now. But you need all 5 sources, so we can't do the rest burst effect with Lilamon. Either way, it's going very poorly because I'm making some bad judgments on when to move and stuff here, and when to bad resource management, not being too aware of it. He swings his security with that jamming Vmon, having a hard time getting it removed because I didn't really think he would block back then. I thought he would be more concerned about blocking the Grankuwaga. But he goes into Goemon, into Gaogamon, and that is the Digiburst Trash 2 to draw 1. So that is cool because he gets the Gaogamon, or the Gaomon with return to hand if you Digiburst in the stack, so he gets technically +2 off it, or at the very least, you know, he gets some very good value off of that Digiburst. He gets that rookie return to hand, so next turn he has a guaranteed rookie to Digivolve into when he hatches an egg, and he has an extra draw off that, which maybe was what he needed to see. He bottom decked the other Kakaitis, and he just used the other one, so I'm not too worried about a third one. These lists usually run 1 or 2. I evo this turn, right? Is that what he's asking? No, it's a main effect. And then he'll go choke us to 1 because it only costs 2 to Digivolve into. And that is unfortunately an 8k, so it's not like we could discard our sources and swing over anything. So I'm thinking I'm just going to clear his board anyways. Let's go ahead and do... because if I Digiburst, that's 2, putting me at 10k. Well, let me do some math right here. So if I keep this one, puts me at 8k, 9k, 10k, but I can't, there's no way to do that. So I'm just going to Digiburst it away, I think, is the play here to get rid of his board so it's not as threatening. We have to switch it to a control style, which is something I mentioned in the deck profile if you want to go see that. So let's go ahead and Digiburst. Goblin wants to do much of anything. I think Kabuterimon has better value, so I'm going to burst on this guy. So we'll get rid of Goblimon and Budmon since I think Kabuterimon has better value. So I am currently at 9k with boost. So I'll swing into this. Go ahead and destroy that, and then I'll swing into the Vmon because it's only 2k while he has 3k. Okay. Oh, I thought it was. I was thinking it was a vanilla Vmon off, so I thought that was 3k for some reason. I was thinking of the Argamon earlier in the turn, so that is unfortunate. The thing is here, I don't even know if it'd be worth Digivolving to protect it because he goes to 3 memory, and then he would just be able to swing over it if he goes into a Mega. Because I can Digivolve to protect it and still get at least a +1, but then he has 3 memories, so he can easily Digivolve into something that is over 11k and then attack it because Blue doesn't have the highest natural DP as a booster set 4, but I'm trying to think, there's gotta be, I mean, he could go into a vanilla maybe if he's still running that for whatever reason, like, what is it, Plesiomon I believe, and even then he could go into like something with Digiburst, maybe they could remove it. I don't think anything removes level 6s other than Kakaitis Breath in Blue right now though, because Zedgaruru's Digiburst effect only gets rid of level 5s, so I think at best he'd be trading here since none of his inheritables boost anything, he just has a vanilla stack right now. And then he's down 2, but I'm in a pretty okay position right now. If I could have gotten this Mimi out, I would have been able to rest before swinging, you know, if I swung with that inheritable, if you have a Tamer in play. Unfortunately, that's not the case here, and that's completely okay. I do get at least a carry attack +1, and then with Chaos Spawn, Digivolution will get 4 off of that once it stacks if this Grankuwagamon can stay on the board. So it's now his priority to get rid of this however he can. So I think here, if he wants to go ahead and crash into it, that's totally fair game. Looks like he's actually got a Hammer Sparks going to 4, so I wonder what he's going to Digivolve into, if there's any 4 cost. Maybe Zed, I think Zed costs 4. So he's Digivolving into 4 cost. And he does go into Zedgarurumon, but it only bounces Digimon of level 5 or lower, not level 6s, so his Digivolution effect would not work here. Instead he's going for MirageGaogamon, which is naturally 12k, so he's just, yeah, I just lose here. That was the gamble, and that's okay. Gain 1 memory for every 4 cards in your opponent's hand. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He just swings over it, and I stalled out his board, so now he can't attack. At least into security, I'm safe for another couple turns. I could possibly build back up if I top deck the rookie here, but it's not happening. This duel is going very poorly because I'm making a lot of bad choices here. And then he Digivolves into the Lobomon into his rookie, which is surprising because he could have gone save that for next turn. That tells me he might have another Lobomon in hand next turn. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a Memory Tamer out nearly soon enough, so his choking was very effective and I wasn't able to go into anything that mattered basically, because everything was choking me at 1 memory and leaving myself exposed to his removal because of that. But the thing is, I had to get bodies off board because of how much of a deficit I am in security. Fortunately, I think this is a space where I just can't come back from now. Unless there's something secure that saves me, like Needle Spray. I have only 2 copies of it though. So the odds of that are very low. I have no rookie here. I could go into Veggie and it still goes into 3. But I think the play here is just to call it a game and go to game 2. So now it's time for game 2, and my opponent does get, or rather I get to choose because I lost. Whoever loses gets to choose who starts next round. So I will go ahead and choose to start. And then that last game was a really good example of how important it is when you decide to move out of raising or not. There's a lot to consider, a lot to think ahead, and make sure you got follow-up plays and whatnot. So yeah, it is very important to realize when to move and when to not, and that was a great example of how crucial it is. So we are seeing an awful hand here. This is one of the worst opening hands ever, so I'll just go ahead and play this guy for 6. At the very least, Digivolve up. I can Digivolve for free even, but I don't have another body on board to Digivolve. He gets a really free Davis off of that because 6 memory is just way too insane amount to give anyone. He gets to search for a blue and green Digimon now. He gets 2, and he's going to grab the MirageGaogamon, it looks like. Or I may have missed what he actually grabbed. It might have been Zed. Because I was highlighting over the cards, I'm not sure. What are those 2? But either way, he's still got 2 memory after that huge play, but it looks like no rookie, unless he really wanted to go into Davis first to see what he got off it. He may have no rookie, and he did that to try and fix his hand. And that's what it's kind of looking like now, but this does still choke me at 1, so it doesn't really matter. If he has 8 or more cards in their hand, you may suspend the team or still suspend one of the Digimon Galmon in its name, so it's good for attacking through your opponent's security. Fortunately, he has Davis, so the memory choke doesn't even matter here, so I might as well just go into Lilamon. Well, actually, no, I'm just going to go into this without... because it makes no difference here. I don't really care about the free draw. And then either way, he's going to go to 3. And then we finally got a body on board at least, so that would have been cool earlier if we top decked that earlier, so we could have Digivolved into Blossomon without leaving our stack exposed by resting itself, which is why I decided to hard Digivolve into it, because I'm just leaving myself exposed. And looking at his hand, yeah, maybe he would not have been able to draw into anything at all, especially since they didn't even have his rookie in the raising area. He wouldn't have been able to do anything to attack me necessarily into that rested stack, so I might have been able to draw that on brick, draw again, but you know, hindsight is 20/20, and I didn't want to leave it exposed. You know, whatever might end up happening, who knows. He's currently at 1 memory after Digivolving into his Galgamon. He does have that Galmon in the sources, so he can Digiburst it and return it back to his hand. Really cute Digimon. I love Galgamon's design. He gets to return that to hand, and he gets to draw 1 if he decides to Digiburst with it. It's really powerful, but he does also have the MirageGaogamon, so right now, you know, if he went into Mach, he could bounce this. Looking like he has a bad hand, because he's playing the second Davis out, trying to break his hand, and now he's seeing those rookies. And another Garurumon, so he's just thinking about it. So he goes, grabs that. Dulce doesn't need any more rookies for the time being. Goes into his Zed. I'll go ahead and draw, and I don't have an ultimate, or rather a mega to go over the Blossomon, so I think the play here is to Digivolve here for free and hope to draw into it. Well, we at least see the HPD, but again, nothing that I can Digivolve into it for, so this is really unfortunate. We don't want to give him 5 memory, so I think, well, I want to discourage him attacking, but he might just, because with 5 memory, he's just going to go into MirageGaogamon's 3, that puts him at 2, Mirage Shadow, it's supposed to be at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that puts him at 2, so I think he would be able to Digivolve into without passing turn, just barely. 5, go to 2, gain a memory for each hand. Big here is going to be the Blossomon, because that only puts him at 4, it'll make it harder to play around going wide. Make him hard to play around the, oh god, this is such a bad game. Why am I bricking? Alright, so he goes ahead and moves out his Galgamon. Let's see what he will do now, because he does have 4 memory, which is tons to work up in this game. He can go into MirageGaogamon and bounce one of my, these guys now. Instead, he's going to go into Bostomon, I believe is the name. Well, he took it away, so now I'll never know. If he goes into that, he still have 2 memory. He's going to Digiburst first to try to get that rookie back, and then to dig again with another draw. So that is really good. Make sure your hand is always in a good state, so you're not setting yourself up to brick. Now he'll go into Bostomon. I'm pretty sure that's the name. Yeah, Bostomon. And then that leaves him at 2 memory, where he'll then go into Garurumon for 4, putting me at 2, but because of his on Digivolve, Digiburst, he now gets to bounce anything, and I'm assuming he'll just bounce the one with sources in it, because that would be enough for Grankuwaga to have his ability live. So I'll just go ahead and draw for turn now. We see the Palmon, so I'm just going to go ahead and move out so that that's ready there to Digivolve next turn. And then I got no champions, nothing, because this is one of the worst hands I've seen in quite a while. Don't want to play this because then I'll just free Digivolve. Don't want to get removed somehow. Let's put some at 6 memory. So I'm just going to go ahead and start chipping at security. So if I'm just going to keep hardcasting ultimates anyways, it's fine if we lose them. So that goes to 7. Play this out, put him at 5 unfortunately. But he's gone into his Mega and he doesn't even have, well he has rookies. But he's gone into his Mega, so I'm not too worried, because now he just builds up a second stack in security. As long as we can top deck a Mega, which I'm feeling kind of good about, because we got 2 draws next time, you know, draw for turn and then draw for the Nidhogg. So I have a pretty good feeling about being able to get a Mega finally here. Let's go ahead, he swings, let's see if we can get another Chaosmon to reveal a security and destroy a Zed. Unfortunately we don't, we get Palmon, which I would really like to see another in my hand rather than in security. Would really prefer to see like Chaosmon and Needle Spray in there. Lilamon's cool, Cherrymon's cool. So Zed is sitting comfortable right now. He's going to go ahead and hardcast the Galgamon. I wonder if he doesn't have any champions in hand. Because that sure is an interesting strategy when you have a rookie able to Digivolve into, you know. Maybe just going wide now to try and finish off the game, because if he plays a 3-cost rookie again now, that puts me at 1, which is terrible because I'm not seeing my Tamers often enough. Maybe up Mimi to 3 in this meta, because it's really hard to play against decks like Blue, which is a naturally bad matchup for Green because of the source stripping mechanic when you have a memory choking deficit while they have a memory tamer out. And it looks like they're going to play Aqua Viper. Return one of your Digimon to its owner's hands, return up to 2 of your opponent's level 4 lower Digimon to its owner's hands, trash all Digivolution sources. So this guy, interestingly, he return to their owner's hand. Okay, and then trash sources. So interestingly, he bounces back the Z, so he has it to go into rather than his rookie. So I'm going to draw. We do see the Tentomon, that's pretty cool, so let's go ahead and draw again. See Needle Spray, so that's something at least, you know, we can maybe attack over the Galgamon, but it's really not doing too much of a threat right now, so I kind of rather dig, because then we have HBD, potentially go into it, hopefully a Mega that we top deck, and then let's see if we can do it. And we get another Palmon. Well, at least that's basically all of them, right? That's like 3. So that is most unfortunate, and I have no champion to Digivolve off of that. So let's go ahead and hardcast this and start rookie rushing it. So that is a 2-cost, but because of Davis, he'll go to 3. We got 4 bodies on board right now if we want to swing with all of them, but there's no guarantee they're going to stay on the board against Blue. Is the tough thing here. This is a very bad matchup for Green, as I said in the deck profile, if you want to check that one out, and as I said earlier in this gameplay video, because of their ability to bounce, their ability to source strip, it's a really bad matchup for Green, and you're really trying to see your OTK immediately, so you basically don't have to play the game against them, and you can just start getting rid of the security right away. So it's really unfortunate that we're not seeing like anything right now. These ratios aren't anything crazy right now. They're pretty standard. So it's really unfortunate that we're bricking, but that's the name of the game. It's a trading card game, there's RNG, and it's going to happen, so the best thing to do is to learn how to play around it. But sometimes you just brick terribly, like a hand of all ultimates, like there's very little I can do to play around that, you know. You kind of just scoop and go to game 2, but this is game 2, you don't want to lose, so you kind of got to power through it. So he Z's and bursts, and that puts this back to hand, which is unfortunate, because if we top deck a Mega now, wow, does that put us at deficit? It doesn't matter, because we don't ever end up seeing the Mega. Kind of gonna just stay in security here, because I can't see a champion for the life of me, let alone a Mega. They're probably the bottom 8 cards of my deck or something. They're all at 4 security here, so I mean, really, the option here is to just rookie rush it. So this is the play. We're just gonna go to 2, go to 2, swing Tentomon to security, try to start chipping away. And that does delete it, that's fine. Next turn we can maybe swing over with Needle Spray in hand if he gives us enough memory. And we're just going to play the Palmon since it puts him to 3 anyways. Zikarumon is something I'm really scared of, because once it's done its job and come out, it's not very good. Well, it's good. It's a 12k beater. That's always good. But yeah, once, as terms of the specs, it's not threatening once it's Digivolve because it's kind of just a vanilla on the board now. Which is why it's a really cool, interesting play with Aqua Viper in this deck. You get to return it and be able to Digiburst again. So that's a really nice combo right there with Grankuwagamon. I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it only gets one memory if it Digivolves into up to MirageGaogamon somehow this turn. So I'm not too worried about that thing actually coming out this time. He Digivolves, but he's not able to Digiburst because it is indeed, oh god, he looks like he doesn't need the Digiburst because he only has one source, so he wouldn't be able to do it anyways. Because he can't pay the cost, but he has two, so he's just going to go for 3 into MirageGaogamon. MirageGaogamon is going to burst and return something to hand, it's looking like. I'm assuming it's probably going to be the Palamon. But yeah, he gets to return something level 4 or under, and yep, it is going to be the Palamon. I'm not too hurt by that, because it just means I have another option to put Digivolve over it eventually. It's going to swing into security, and that is going to be Grankuwagamon. Wow, no wonder I'm not seeing you guys, you're all hiding in there. And unfortunately, it is 11k instead of 12k, so it's not like I watched this be a 2k that lets him live. 7k, so at the very least, it trades with that, thank goodness, so there's some bodies off the board, because we're starting to get into that low threshold of security, which is really worrying. But this green, like, you turn the game around. The name of the game is OTK green, so you just turn it around if you could get the actual combo off. But unfortunately, I'm not seeing my Tamers, and once I did see them last game, it was already too late. I'm going to go ahead and put me to 3 memory, which I like to see, but it doesn't really matter since I can't really do anything at this level. I'm not going to top deck the champion, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that in security since it's not like I could Digivolve into the stack all the way anyways, because that would put me on 1. I could maybe into that. I'm going to see a Nidhogg and I'm going to be so annoyed that I didn't do it. Okay, so far so good. So right now I'm just planning to swing over that Digimon. So this works like Flower Cannon, where I just suspend one of my both Digimon. I'll go ahead and attack over the Digimon. And then I'm gonna Digiburst away these sources, so I don't really care about the surviving. But then if I top deck a Grank, I could go into it that turn. And he has 2 Davis on the field. I lose if I don't get a blocker out. And even then, that's 4 checks. Well, yeah, you always play assuming you have the Lobo, so yeah, I lost. I can't come back from this. He has 2 checks on board right now is the suspicion, but he has 3 Tamers out. So you really have to treat it like that's 3 potential Lobos. And honestly, even just 1 is all he needs. I just lose here if I don't see Needle Spray in security. I have only seen 1 Needle Spray this game, so I mean, maybe it is in there. But yeah, this is going, fortunately, poorly. OTK Green is definitely a deck I have to get used to because it's very recently introduced with the promos coming out. It wasn't something that existed in Japan, so they didn't have time to practice and play it, so I'm kind of learning as I go. And that's showing, so he goes ahead and attacks over the Argomon, which is again fine because he has 3 Tamers out, potentially could be 3 checks, so he doesn't really worry about losing that extra check right now. I think keeping board in check and reducing size is always important against green so they can't Digiburst up and stuff, but he has enough Tamers that it wouldn't matter. This trades because it's 2k and he does not have a DP boosting underneath that Digimon. He gets to draw off of that Digimon instead because I have plenty of Digimon without sources on the field. Let's see if he just goes into Lobo. Instead, he just plays a Gaogamon. Plays out 2 Gaogamons on board, so that's interesting, and he does have lethal now, and I'm still not seeing any kind of Mega. Woo! The top deck! The top deck! Woo! Does it matter though? Because I have no blockers. I have no champions to evolve with the blockers if I wanted to. He may be baiting for the Lobomon next turn. So I could Digivolve into, because Grankuwagamon can grant one of your Digimon. It doesn't have to be itself, neither does the Palamon. So what I could do here is I could go and Digiburst, give that to the Argomon. It has jamming and all the security attacks, so it goes into swing into security. I can swing Grank into the Zed and then restand into those guys. And then he needs to have 2 Garus in hand to be able to do anything. But then, well, I guess I don't need to HPD. I can just go into it for free. So I'll Digivolve, go to 0. I'll draw. I'll burst. Do all that to Argomon. So he gains jamming off of the Palmon, and he gains security attack +2. So that'll be +2 jamming on Argo. And that'll go to trash, because that is how Digiburst works. So now I'll swing into security for +2 jamming. Okay. Let's see. So that is 3 checks. 1, 2, 3. And then Grankuwaga swings for game. Good game. I am dumb. I did not realize that was 3 check. Wow, the Cocytus in hand, thank goodness. And I was so worried about the Lobomon. I was so worried. 3 checks, 3 security. Grankuwaga needed to survive. Oh, and then I barely realized this thing is 12k while he is 11k, so I wouldn't have been able to attack over it anyways. Guys, I'm not. There's so much to play around and consider, and all your sources and stuff, that you just lose track of stuff, and I lose track of what I'm doing myself. Because you saw there, as long as I got the Digiburst off, I won. But I was so worried about like getting stuff off the board to survive another turn that I tunnel vision and didn't realize, oh, I don't need something else to stay on board to get rid of, you know, to survive another turn. I don't need to survive another turn because I just win now if I get the Digiburst off, and I don't reveal Cocytus in security. So you could argue that I was trying to play it safe and that I wouldn't, you know, wanted to not make it come down to seeing Cocytus in security, whether or not it was a gamble to win. But I think at that point, with Grankuwaga only being 11k naturally, there was nothing else to come down to with that field state. So we got lucky there. I'm going to go ahead and hard cast, which is unfortunate. So it looks like we're taking turns bricking here. So I go to 3 anyway, so it doesn't even matter. No point in playing out the other Mimi, so I'm just going to play this guy out, because at least it chokes him at 1, because it's fantastic. Digimon is a 4 cost to play champion, so that's 6k DP. So if you want to swing with that and survive, I can just swing over either of his champions now. And he is choked at 1 memory. But unfortunately, no. Pretty sure MirageGaogamon is a main Digiburst, so he couldn't send my Veggie back even if he wanted to right now. So I'm not too concerned about that. He reveals 3 and he grabs a MirageGaogamon. He must have an ultimate in hand and ready to go into it next time, so he wants to be able to swing for that unblockable. I'm going to go ahead and draw off return. I am at 3 memory. We do finally see a rookie, so that's fantastic. We draw off that. So what we could do here is, unfortunately, if I could have gotten into Blossom earlier, I could have used Mimi, and I still can, but then what do I accomplish there? I can't memory choke him either. Because if I just Digivolve on the field, I'm going to get removed by Cocytus or possibly something else. And then you don't even have the full stacks to gain maximum security off it. So I think I'm just going to build a second stack here in the raising area. He goes to 2, there's only 1 to Digivolve into. I draw the Needle Spray, so that's pretty cool. I don't want him Digivolving up, and then he can still Digiburst off of that. So I'm going to go ahead, and I think what I'm going to do is start removing bodies. So I'm going to Needle Spray for 2, rest this Digimon, and I'm going to swing over it with Veggie, and it has 5k, so I do get to live, which is amazing because Veggie is way above the power curve for alts for champions, so that's really cool that I get to see Digivolve like that. Unfortunately, he has 3 memory because of Davis, so he will be able to go into a ultimate next turn and swing over the Veggie, so I don't want to lose Blossom like that. I also don't want to just like hard cast anything out there. So I think the play here is to Digivolve in Raising, and then I'll have the guaranteed memory next time to go into the Grankuwagamon and start OTKing. And if he swings into Veggie, I don't really worry too much about losing it, because that is 1 body distracting him from my security, so I'm still at 5. If he decides to swing into Veggie instead, that's okay with me. I have a stack in security. I don't mind Digivolving into it because I don't really have anything good to Digizorb into if he decides to remove my Veggie. I'd rather not Digizorb the stack itself because I have guaranteed memory off of Mimi for once, which would be fantastic. The Needle Spray was pretty cool to be able to bring it out. And then this way we have the sources for that Grankuwaga, which we do have ready to go. Let's see what my opponent is up to. He reveals his egg, which was in Upamon. So Upamon is a fantastic rookie in blue because when attacking once per turn, if your opponent has a Digimon with no Digivolution cards in play, trigger draw 1. And that's coming up often. As you see, it is coming up right now because Veggie is a card without any sources, so you'll be able to draw if he swung with that Digimon in its stack. He goes into MirageGaogamon, but he cannot, unfortunately for him, do the burst because he only had one source. He goes into MirageGaogamon, gains 1 because I do have 4 memory, and then that only puts me at 3. So he doesn't give me more than I needed, or rather more than he needed to because the tamer was already out. So I'll draw, and then I'll move. So I do have enough to go into it. I can give Veggie the jamming and the security tag, which is fantastic. I can't beat over this anyway, so if we could top deck the Chaos Mon to be able to get more aggressive, that'd be even better. But let's go ahead and Digivolve into this instead. Digivolve into Grankuwaga. Would have been cool to see the HPD, but no problem. Can we top deck the Chaos Mon? We can't, but we get Needle Spray, so that's cool for next time. So I'm going to go ahead and Digiburst onto Veggie. I do have Palmon, so it has the jamming, and that is the full stack. Let's go ahead and get really aggressive with it. Let me just fix my trash right there. Alright. Plus 2 jamming. Let's go ahead and swing. 1 jam, we jam, and we jammed all those. So those were definitely some trades in there with the blockers, so that's cool. The jamming was able to protect us. Don't necessarily have anything to Digivolve into well here. And I don't want to swing with Grankuwaga because he just gets swung over next turn. And then he has to swing into Veggie, or I have lethal next turn by playing down this Goblimon. And then he'll be able to Digivolve over it next turn into... Oh wait, I have the Grankuwaga. Always make sure of what's here. You have the Grankuwagamon, so I can start Digivolve and drawing now. And I draw into the Chaos Mon. No, but I do get to draw into another Grankuwaga. That's pretty cool. And then this is the same as that, and I still have wide anyway because it's protected by the raising area. So I think the play here is to just Digivolve and keep digging instead of losing hand advantage by hardcasting the Goblimon. You never really need more than 1 Mimi on board once it's there. Double Mimi is kind of cool, but it's really win more-ish than anything. I am at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so not 8. He doesn't get 2 off of Mirage if he wants to do any more shenanigans like that. Let's see if he'll swing. He must swing into Veggie because this represents lethal on board if he doesn't have any kind of removal. So that is at least protecting me from my security. I wish it, I have nothing to beat over it because none of my sources have inheritable, so at best I could trade with it, which wouldn't be the worst if he has nothing to follow up with. Because I do have that Budmon in this stack, which gives Digiburst Digimon plus 1000 DP, and because this guy is 11k naturally, that puts him at 12k, so at the very least he would be able to trade, and since I already have a stack out, it wouldn't be the end of the world. I could give +1 to the other Grankuwagamon, and then we can try and swing the game. Okay, so he goes ahead and is just trying to keep lethal off board and keep his MirageGaogamon safe by returning this to hand. I had one in hand already, so it's not the end of the world. I'm going to go ahead and draw, and I'm going to go ahead and move out. And very unfortunately, I do not see an ultimate to be able to keep Digivolving. That really is unfortunate because now I can't use Mimi either. So let's see if we can maybe do this. This is 3 memory. We're going to go to 2, we're going to go to 1. And I'm going to draw off that. And we do see the Lila a little too late. I guess there also wasn't really a reason to move it out there since this thing is unblockable now. And he played the Kakaitis, so we saw before how it happens where you still have like another Kakaitis in hand. So here's hoping that is not the case. But let's go ahead and Digivolve here, because we did finally see the ultimate and we need that to stick on board. So I guess there wasn't really a reason. I guess I was hoping to be able to do something with Mimi. And it doesn't work if the ultimate or higher is in the raising area. It has to be on the field. So here we're just hoping he doesn't have another Kakaitis Breath, but I mean if he does, that gives me 4 whole memory. So it's not the end of the world, because at the very least, maybe I'll top deck a rookie or an ultimate. He only has 2 securities, so you know, Grankuwaga out right now would be able to get us game, and we do have that guaranteed 3 memory off of the Mimi Tachikawa tamer. Looks like he's going to go ahead and start chipping away security by swinging, and he reveals Goblimon, so he's perfectly fine. No worries there for him. We'll see if he has a way to remove this Lilamon, which as far as I am aware, can only possibly be a Kakaitis Breath, which now after playing Electromon, if it's coming out, it's going to give us a ton of memory. He might be Digivolving into a blocker now, yes, and because of that Hammer Spark, it puts him at 2, we're leaving him at 0 after Digivolving, so he's able to do that without passing turn. So now what here is the play? Looks like he's going to hardcast a rookie. Nope, he plays a 3-cost Tamer, which is Thomas, which lets you restand if you have 8 or opponent has 8 or more cards, if the Digimon has Galmon in its name. So we're going to go ahead and draw. I'll go ahead and hatch. I unfortunately don't have a rookie to take advantage of the raising area to be able to use Mimi, but I do have Grankuwagamon here. Unfortunately, again, he has a blocker. But looky here, 1, 2, 3, 4, including that. So +2, I don't need to do that. I'm just gonna actually, if I Digivolve, because this isn't when Digivolving, you can swing at security. Because I have a Tamer out, so the play here is discard only 2, give me +1, that should be enough to win here. So I'll Digivolve, go to 3, I'll draw off that. If you have a Tamer play, Digiburst 1, so we're going to keep Digiburst Palmon, and let's Digiburst Budmon. It has a source inheritable, so let's keep these two. So security attack +1 to itself, so it's +1 jamming. +1. Ooh. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. So now it's +1 jamming, hoping we don't see Kakaitis in security. +1 jamming. Lila inherit. Wait, does it stop? Yeah, even stop blockers. Inheritable Rest Grizzly. So we're going to go ahead and swing security for +1. He only has 2 left, so it's all I needed. So we're able to keep the Lila Inheritable, which is if you have a Tamer in place, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. So that does get suspended, so you can no longer block. And it has jamming. And that is game, because now I could swing with this. And that is game. So that is OTK Green, guys. It is a really fun deck that's really versatile and able to play control as much as it is to play aggressive. Definitely have to keep, you have to be aware of your entire board presence, field presence, security, and what you have in hand, what you can do with Mimi. As you saw, like, it took me a while to realize a lot of stuff because there's so much to keep track of, and I'm doing live commentary and like so many excuses I can come up with. But the fact of the matter is, I just need to get more familiar with the deck. But either way, it shows how much Green can come back from stuff, because all you gotta do is like get a good Digiburst off, and you're able to play around a lot of different things. The Inheritable off of Lilamon is fantastic, which is why I like to run it at 3. And honestly, you can really make the case for 4, and as the booster set 5, you will be running 4. So yeah, anyways, let me know how you guys play Green. Let me know if you got any tricks that are working for you. And until the next video, remember to stay hungry until you get a taste of victory.